So, good morning, student. We are going to learn practical number 10, 11, and 12. That is anatomy of dicot and monocot, root, stem, and leaf. It's very difficult to take this practical in a online mode, but due to again second wave of COVID-19, we are forced to sit at our homes. So please cooperate and learn these practicals in a online mode. So I will try my level best to make you clear all the tissues, whatever the internal tissues that I'm going to explain. I will try my level best to make you understand. So please listen this lecture very carefully. The same content, same part I taught you in a first semester during our theory lectures. So here practically now you have to learn this practical, but it's now not possible to learn practically in a offline mode. So I will prepare two videos of this practical. The one video that where I'm going to explain you in a real way by showing you one of the plant, how to take sections of root, stem and leaf. Okay, luckily I have grown one dicot plant in my small balcony garden. So that video I will show you, and this is the whole this lecture. It's description of internal structure of root, stem and leaf. So see students, what are the plant material you required for this practical. So you have to require these two different plants of different uh, category, that is dicotyledon, which is we have the example that is sunflower, root, stem and leaf of sunflower, which you are going to learn under dicotyledon, and maize plant you are going to learn under monocots. So here dicot and monocot you have to learn separately. Now, what are the glasswares it requires? So glasswares you must have with you, that is slides, cover slips, needle, blade and brush. So here see I have given the image of a blade. So why I have given, because in your dissection box that different blade is there, and that blade doesn't give you a perfect section of or plant material. So hence you required the such a double-sided blade. I have given you the picture in front of you. So any brand of blade you have to purchase for this, particularly botany practicals, botany anatomy practicals. So you need again brush, handkerchief to stain out excess stain or excess water from your slides. So main stain required for this practical is safranin. So safranin here, say friends, safranin is very concentrated stain and it is red in color. And what is the main function of safranin is it's going to stain dead tissue. So again my question is, which are those dead tissue which are present within the plants? So dead tissue are your xylem and sclerenchyma. These are the dead tissue present within the plants, and safranin is going to react with this dead tissue, and hence it will gives you a pink or a red color. So hence we are able to recognize after staining which are those dead tissue present within the our uh, present within our slide, and where they are exactly located. So this is the main function played by safranin stain. Now, here again, I want to make you clear proportion of this safranin. So, safranin you have to take 1:10 proportion. Means what? So, as it is very concentrated, you have to make a dilute stain of this safranin. So, you have to take 1 drop of safranin in your watch glass, okay, and add 10 drops of water. Mix it well, mix this content well, and then you have to place your sections after preparing this 1:10 safranin stain. Okay, so suppose you have taken as it is the drop of this safranin, it will going to gives you very dark stained section. So we don't want such a bad sections. Okay, so here what your duty is, you have to remember this proportion, and then you have to make very faint stain so that it will only gives color to the dead tissue. Suppose you have taken as it is safranin, it is going to give you dark tissue right from the epidermis towards the center. Okay, through whole section is going to become dark if you are using as it is. So in order to avoid such mistakes, you have to remember the proportion. You have to make this stain in a proper manner. Now next I will explain now anatomical structure of root, stem and leaf of both these dicot and monocot plant. So please concentrate on my explanation. So here, see, this is the ground plan. The whole section will looks like this, and the this in a this slice, one slice is taken out and that slice is here. Okay, one part or one sector is enlarged here to make you understand the internal tissues which are present within the root. So here see my arrow here, see the mouse cursor. So here outermost what this unicellular cell is come out. So it is coming out from outermost layer. Okay. So what is the name of this outermost layer of this root? So in case of root, the outermost layer we called it as epiblema. Here the word we are not using epidermis. Please do remember, epidermis is the layer the which is present within the plants which are present above the ground, I can say. Okay, the parts of the plants were present above the ground, and that parts has outermost layer, and we call that layer as dermis, epidermis. Okay, epi is above, derma is skin. Okay, so likewise epidermis is the name given to parts present above the soil, above the ground. Now here this root is present within the soil, hence you have to call it as epiblema, or you have to call it as piliferous layer. See here name is given piliferous layer, or if not, you have to remember the another third name, that is rhizodermis. Rhizo means root, derma is the skin. Okay. Rhizodermis or piliferous layer or epiblema. These are the three names for outermost layer of the root. Okay, please do remember. Now, what is the function of this root hair? So, root hair helps in the absorption of water from outermost layer. Okay, it absorbs not only the water but it also going to absorb the minerals from the soil. Yes, it is present within the soil. It is root. है ना? So it is going to absorb the water and mineral from the soil, and it's going to transfer these mineral and water to inside to the cortex as well as to the stele region. Okay? Now, piliferous layer, that is nothing but your epiblema. It is single layered. It is made up of parenchymatous cells, and it helps in the protection of inner cells. This is the main function of piliferous layer. Now, next to the piliferous layer, you are now observing somewhat dark blue colored cells and faint blue colored cells. So above four lines of the cell, dark blue color cells, they are compactly arranged and they are called as hypodermis, and they are again helping in foreign particles which are trying to enter within it. Now, next to it, it is again thin walled cells which has intercellular spaces. You observe here, each of the cell it has intercellular spaces. See my cursor, it is having intercellular spaces, the spaces which are present between the cells, they are called as intercellular spaces. So these intercellular spaces again present within these cortex cells. So this cortex region again made up of, again see upper dark blue colored cells. They are made up of sclerine chimatous cells. Do remember, which are compactly arranged. And next, faint blue colored cells. See my cursor. So here these faint blue colored cells which has the intercellular spaces, okay, they are made up of parenchymatous cells. So here wherever there is parenchymatous cells, you have to remember it helps in storage of food material. Getting? And now next to the cortex, now this is the main inner part is present, main inner part. So here this part, centrally placed colored part, this part is called as stele, S-T-E-L-E, stele region. So stele region is made up of four kind of different tissue or different cells, different layers I can say. So here different layer, nothing but what? Endodermis is the first layer, then pericycle, second layer, third is your vascular bundle, and fourth is pith. Okay. So likewise endodermis, pericycle, vascular bundle and pith. Okay, altogether all these four layers they are called as stele, S-T-E-L-E. Please do remember. So this stele region is there which is centrally located. So I will start my explanation right from the outermost layer or the first layer of stele. So this first layer of stele is named as endodermis, which is single layered cell. Okay. So within this endodermis again Casparian strips are present. See here Casparian strips. So Casparian strips, these are the thickening which is made up of suberin. Okay. These are the thickenings which are present within endodermis. Okay. Where they are present within endodermis. So what is the main function played by Casparian strips? So Casparian strips, they controls the movement of material in the root. Okay, it controls the movement of material within root. Now, one more C layer I have mentioned over. See my cursor, passage cells. So, passage cells are also within these Casparian strips. Okay, Casparian strips where they are present? Casparian strips they are present within endodermis. So now again what is the function played by passage cells? So passage cells again they helps in the movement of water and mineral from cortex region to vascular bundle. Okay, so likewise water and mineral they pass through this passage cells. Getting? So here passage cells water mineral का movement करते from cortex towards inside, and these Casparian strips they controls the movement of the material. Suppose this water and mineral is enough within this inner portion, within this vascular bundle and pith region, then Casparian strips they are getting closed. Okay, the message is passed to the passage cells and hence the movement from the movement of this water and mineral from this cortex is stopped. So likewise this mechanism is played by these Casparian strips as well as the passage cells which are present within this endodermis. Now next come towards this pericycle. So again pericycle it is single layered, and pericycle it helps, pericycle again made up of these parenchymatous cells, and it gives the parts of vascular bundle. Pericycle it gives the part of vascular bundle. Students please do remember this every part, because in the next every section this layer is going to come. So every time I'm not going to explain likewise means in which kind of cells they are having and which main function played by them. So please do remember here in the first slide which are those layer, which kind of cells present in it, and what is the main function of them. So here pericycle, it gives the parts of vascular cambium. Getting? Now next come towards next part. So here now see my cursor here or here in a ground plan. So here you are observing somewhat dark pink colored cells which are arranged one above the other. So here this pink colored and green colored these cells. Okay. So which are those? Which are these cells? So here see pink colored cells. These are xylem tissue, and here a green colored. They are phloem cells. Getting? So here xylem and phloem present separately. So they are not present in a single circle as like we have seen in case of dicot. They are not present in a single bundle. They are present separately. So this in this way they are present separately. Xylem, one line, then this is phloem, xylem, then phloem, xylem, then phloem. Okay. So such condition it is called as arc condition. ARCH, arc condition. So here how many arc are present? Depending on that we are going to call its name. Okay, vascular bundle, how many arc of present? So here in this monocot root, in this maze root, count these arc. So here, see here in enlarged section, so total 8 patches are present. How many? 8. So you are going to call it as octarc. Okay, half octarc. If 3 would be there, you have to call triarch. If 4 would be there, you have to call it as tetrarch. If 5, you have to call pentarch. So likewise, arc condition of this xylem is present here. So, so this is how we have to call it as. Now, next, how they are placed. Xylem cells, how they are placed. So see students, see my cursor over here. So here you will get, see my cursor, somewhat bigger cells, they are bigger cells of xylem, they are present towards center. Bigger cells of xylem, they are present towards center, whereas the smaller cells, they are present towards periphery. Okay? Bigger cells, they are towards center and smaller cell towards periphery. So bigger cells of xylem, they are called as metaxylem, whereas smaller cells of xylem, they are called as protoxylem. So when this uh, xylem is placed like this, then the type of xylem is again different. So that you have to again remember. So here I have taught you earlier in the theory, one short form you have to remember. The short form is MCPP. Okay? M stands for metaxylem, C stands for center, P, first P stands for protoxylem, second P stands for periphery. MCPP. Okay, metaxylem towards center and protoxylem towards periphery. So MCPP. So if such MCPP pattern is present of xylem, then the type of xylem comes that is called as exarch. Okay, there are two types of xylem, exarch and endarch. So endarch has different pattern. So I will explain endarch later on. So do remember here exarch MCPP. Okay. So MCPP pattern of xylem is present. So we have to call the type of xylem that is exarch. Metaxylem towards center, protoxylem towards periphery. Okay. So what is the main function of this xylem? So xylem helps in conduction of water. Then come towards this phloem. So phloem patches again octarch condition, and phloem helps in the what? It is conduction of food material, storage of food material. It helps. Now, in a centrally located portion, we called it as a central portion. Here see in the ground plan also, here see some portion is present within the center. So this portion it is called as what? Pith. Okay. So pith is present particularly in monocot root, and whereas it is absent in a dicot. I will show you later on in the next slide how dicot root looks like. So here please do remember pith is present. So pith, it is again what? It is again made up of parenchymatous cells, and in case of Canna indica it is sclerenchymatous only, but rest of the plants it is a parenchymatous cells. Okay, and which holds all these vascular bundle, and within this xylem and phloem again this parenchymatous, or we can say a ground tissue which is present within or inside this pericycle, which holds this vascular bundle patches of this xylem and phloem. So likewise I have explained in detail about this monocot root. Okay, now comes towards next. So again this is the dicot root right from the beginning, right from the outermost layer. Now I'm not going to explain this because the similar kind of layer is present. Only here see, right from the piliferous layer, here is only one layer of these hypodermis, I can say it is present, and rest of the part cortex it is in major layer, and again it is having parenchymatous cells with the intercellular spaces in between them. So here see only I have explained here previously. See here in the monocot it is having some inner portion present within this vascular bundle, but here in the dicot root there is no such pith is present. Okay, here xylem has taken the place, hence pith is not there in a dicot root. In previous, in a monocot, what we have seen, octarch condition. Okay, many patches or many arc condition of these xylem phloem are present, but here in the dicot you are going to observe only 4 patches, that is tetrarch condition. Here you can see a plus sign of this. So this is a plus sign within the center, that is nothing but what? This is again a xylem tissue. Again see student, as I have explained you, see my cursor, these are the bigger cells of the xylem which are present towards the center, and smaller cells, that is protoxylem, which is present towards periphery. So again our condition is MCPP. So again here the type of xylem is exarch xylem. So again here 4 patches of xylem, 4 patches of phloem is present in a dicot root. Rest of the explanation is similar in case of this dicot root. Okay. Now next come towards these dicot stem and monocot stem. Okay. So here before to begin with the enlarged structure of these dicot and monocot stem, I want to explain you this ground plan of both of these stems. Getting? So if you are taken the section of these stem of monocot and dicot, so now you don't know, morphologically you don't know which stem is of monocot and dicot. So by looking the internal characteristics, how you are going to predict the section belonging to monocot and dicot. So now here see students, see my cursor towards your right hand side, here it is present. Okay, so here now see, if the vascular bundle they are present in a ring. Okay, if the vascular bundle they are present in a ring, this section it is called as, it is belonging to dicot stem. See in case of monocot, such a vascular bundle they are not arranged in a ring fashion, they are scattered right from periphery towards the center. Getting? So here why such a scattered vascular bundle is present in the monocot, and why in a dicot they are present in a ring. Okay. So here now see here in a vascular bundle towards your right hand side, what I have mentioned, outermost black colored, dark black colored tissue, that is phloem, then middle part, that is your cambium, and the inner part, that is your xylem. So which layer is present in between phloem and xylem? So here cambium is present. Okay, so cambium is present in between the phloem and xylem, and which helps in connecting all these vascular bundle together. Who is helping? Who? Cambium is helping in holding this vascular bundle together. Okay. So please do remember, this is the cambium which is again responsible for secondary growth, and because of whom again thickness within the stem is going to increase. Okay, means number of cambium is there. Suppose 5 cambium rings are there, you are going to predict that plant is 5 years old. So depending on that, again age of the plant is calculated. Okay, so every year the single layer of this cambium ring is going to develop. So depending on that, your cambium is present. Cambium is helps in giving phloem towards outside and xylem towards inside. So cambium is responsible for holding this vascular bundle in a ring fashion. And now see in the monocot, why these muscular bundle they are scattered, because here no cambium is present. Okay, cambium is totally absent. Okay, and hence muscular bundle we are going to observe in a scattered fashion. Okay, and one more point I want to clear here, as this cambium is present in the phloem and xylem, the type of vascular bundle is coming open type. Okay, open type of vascular bundle means what? When the cambium is present between phloem and xylem, the type of vascular bundle is open. And when cambium is absent, then the type of vascular bundle is called as closed. Okay, so closed vascular bundle and open vascular bundle. Closed vascular bundle present in the monocot, whereas open vascular bundle is present in dicot. So that is the main difference between this dicot stem and monocot stem. Means at a first look, suppose you are observing your section under a 10x under a microscope, binocular microscope, then you are going to have such a section. So means by looking internally, internal tissue, you have to predict whether it is this section is of monocot or dicot. So in case of monocot, you are going to observe scattered vascular bundle, as cambium is not there, cambium is not arranged in a ring fashion. Okay? And in a dicot, again I am repeating, cambium is present which holds all the vascular bundle together. Okay, now come towards our main tissue. Now, main, that is dicot stem. Okay? So here in this stem, now see here, see. So outermost layer again epidermal layers which is coming from the epidermis. So here now outermost layer you have to call as dermis because the part is up above the ground. Okay, so epidermis again single layered and it has waxy cuticle on it in order to prevent the moisture, as well as it helps in the uh, it's going to protect the plant part from the foreign particles. So cuticle, it again avoids the transpiration. So that is the main important role played by this cuticle. Now next, coming towards the next layers below the epidermis. So here see, below the epidermis cholechyma is present. So cholechyma, okay. So cholechyma means what? This is again the rounded cells, rounded thick walled cells which are arranged compactly, and it is somewhat oval, circular in shape. So this cholechyma again it helps in giving strength. Okay, it helps in giving strength. So below this cholechyma again chlorenchyma is present. Again the same chlorechyma, it has thin wall and it has intercellular spaces in between them. But what is the difference between the choline and chlorine is, in a chlorechyma cells chloroplasts are present. They are green in colored, whereas in the collenchyma, no such chloroplast is present. Getting? So here blue colored cells that are chlorenchyma, and chlorenchyma it helps in the photosynthesis. Okay. Now come towards the next part, that is a cortex tissue. Again parenchymatous cells are there, intracellular spaces are present in between them, thin walled parenchymatous cells, smaller, larger with intracellular spaces in between them. So again cortex is made up of how many layers? Three different layers we have seen. Pollenchyma, blue in color, green colored chlorenchyma, and this is again faint blue color, that is parenchyma. So likewise this whole cortex tissue is. Now come towards main stele region here. Now in this stele region you are going to observe, see, outermost, this is again one covering. Okay, one covering. So here this covering is called as what? See the name, it is starch sheath, or you can say the cover which going to protect this outermost vascular bundle. So this outermost vascular bundle, in case of these dicot stem, is what? It is a starch sheath which has the starch in them, and which is going to protect the inner these main stele region. Okay. Now below this, now look at here, below this, now here somewhat penta or hexagonal compactly arranged cells are there. So these cells, they are, now in a previous section in case of root, what we have observed? We have observed endodermis and pericycle, they are of a single layer. Okay. So please here in this dicot stem, please do remember this pericycle, it is of multi-layered. Pericycle, it is of multi-layered, and it is made up of a sclerenchyma cells. Okay, it is made up of sclerenchymatous cells. So here in this dicot stem, the type of stele is polyfiscular siphanostele, or it is also called as a EU stele. Polyfiscular siphanostele, or it is also called as EU stele. Because again here see, here in this pericycle, in this pericycle, which kind of cells are there? A thick walled sclerenchymatous cells are there. So here now below this pericycle, please do remember pericycle again multi-layered cells. So here multi-layered cells, it is a pericycle which is present in a dicot stem. It's a very important characteristics, and it look like a cap. So it is the name given bundle cap, and this is a cap like structure is present to every this vascular bundle. Okay, every this vascular bundle, and below this pericycle this phloem part is present. Always do remember phloem is always towards outside, not towards inside. So just below this sclerenchymatous patch, sclerenchymatous pericycle, this phloem part is present, and after this phloem, yellow colored, see this yellow colored horizontal lines that are nothing but what? Cambium. So cambium, what is the main function of cambium is, cambium gives xylem towards outside, inside, and phloem towards inside. Xylem towards inside and phloem towards outside. So again see here the arrangement of xylem tissue. So xylem, see metaxylem we are observing towards outside, towards periphery, and protoxylem towards center. Okay. So here MPPC, it is somewhat different structure as I have explained is present. MPPC. First M stands for metaxylem, P stands for periphery, MP. Then PC, protoxylem towards center, PC. Okay, MPPC, the type of xylem is endark. Now see, in case of root, what we have observed, exarch type, MCPP. Now here MPPC type of xylem is present, and it is present in a dicot stem. Okay, are you observing this? Metaxylem towards periphery and protoxylem towards center. The function of this xylem is same again, the conduction of water, and phloem again the conduction and storage of food material. Cambium again it gives xylem towards inside, phloem towards outside. So likewise cambium again it helps. And the pith is again here see very large in a ground plan, see pith is very large, and it is present in case of this dicot stem. Okay, so likewise these are the ground tissue which holds this is the ring of all the vascular bundle, and such a arrangement of vascular bundle they are only going to observe in case of dicot stem. Please do remember, because cambium is present. So here intracambium and intercambium. Intra means the cambium which is present between this vascular bundle, and the cambium which is present in between the vascular bundle. So intercambium and intracambium ring is present which holds this vascular bundle together. Now comes towards this next part. So here see, as I have explained you, no cambium, all the vascular bundle are scattered, and see here just below this epidermis you are going to observe such a hypodermal cells, compactly arranged hypodermal cells. Hypodermal cells they are, see here blue colored patch, see my cursor, blue colored patch, it is again the sclerenchyma which is present here. So again sclerenchyma, wherever there is a sclerenchyma I am saying that sclerenchyma helps in providing the mechanical support, or mechanical strength is provided by these sclerenchymatous cells. So in a monocot, see monocot plants are very I can say uh, very soft in nature, and such a stem or a leaves they are uh, they should stand or withstand with high wind velocity, okay, or withstand with any mechanical damage. So here sclerenchyma which going to give support to that particular plant part. So here sclerenchyma is present just below this epidermis, and here in between the epidermis again chlorenchyma patches are present. Chlorenchyma it helps in again as chloroplast is present, it provides the food, preparation of food and storage of food. So again see within this ground tissue, okay, here no such a pith is present as like this dicot. See here dicot में क्या है, it's very large pith is present, but in this monocot no such pith is present. All the vascular bundle they are scattered, and if you observe the vascular bundle, mature vascular bundle they are towards the center, whereas very tiny or young vascular bundle they are present towards this periphery. Okay, so here again see you are observing such what, these are the two eyes, this is the nose, and this is the mouth. Okay, so such a structure is present within this vascular bundle of this monocot stem. Okay, so here again see these two eyes are nothing but what, two eyes are nothing but this is metaxylem. Okay, then somewhat nose like structure, it is a protoxylem, and this is the protoxylem lacuna which stores water in. Ready? So now these are the xylem. Eyes are nothing but what? These are the bigger cells, metaxylems. Protoxylem, mouth-like structure, nose-like structure, that is protoxylem, and mouth-like structure, that is a protoxylem lacuna. So where is the phloem here? Getting? So phloem, which is present here. Okay, see my cursor. So phloem, see again, phloem patches are metaphlloem and protophlloem. ठीक है, so metaphlloem is present towards metaxylem only, and protophlloem they are present towards this protoxylem lacuna. So likewise again this protophlloem and metaphloem is again present. ठीक है, and the covering which protects this vascular bundle, see my cursor. Okay, the covering which protects this vascular bundle, so this covering is called as bundle sheath cover. BSC, bundle sheath cover, which is going to provide, uh, which going to gives you protection. So likewise here the vascular bundle they are placed in case of monocot. Okay, now so this is the ground plan of monocot route, dicot route I have explained. This is again I have explained. And now come towards this last part of my explanation, that is dicot leaf. So here see in case of dicot and monocot leaf how you are going to uh, differentiate this dicot and monocot leaf. So students please do remember in case of dicot and monocot, in case of dicot here what are the layers you are going to observe. I'm going to somewhat uh, not going to uh, give you any shortcuts. We have to learn this in detail as we are going to learn this anatomy particle or anatomy practicals. So here please do remember this leaf. It is going to differentiate upper epidermis, lower epidermis, and between the mesophyll cells. So mesophyll cells again divided into elongated palisade cells, whereas a smaller rounded oval cells they are spongy cells or spongy parenchyma. See here my cursor again, palisade parenchyma and spongy parenchyma. So likewise upper epidermis, lower epidermis and middle mesophyll cells which are going to differentiate into two. The elongated one they are called as palisade parenchyma, and this somewhat rounded or oval in shape with intercellular spaces they are called as spongy parenchyma. So such pattern if it is present you have to call it as a dicot leaf. There is no such pattern is present in case of, see further next slide, it is a monocot leaf. So here in a monocot leaf mesophyll cells remain as it is. Okay, see here again this is the name mesophyll. See here, so this mesophyll it is remain as it is. There is no differentiation of mesophyll in a monocot. Okay, so let's come towards this dicot leaf. So in case of dicot leaf, this is upper epidermis which is again protected with the help of cuticle. Lower epidermis again it is helps with the help of waxy coating, or we call it as a cuticle. So it is again why it is present in order to avoid the transpiration. It minimizes the transpiration rate. So hence the waxy coating is present towards the these upper epidermis. And again see here upper epidermis again it is made up of parenchymatous cells. It is a single layered, and below this upper epidermis the palisade parenchyma is present. This is somewhat elongated cells are present, and this palisade parenchyma this they are helps in the photosynthesis. There is no major, I can say, the intercellular spaces they are present within this palisade parenchyma as like the major intercellular spaces you are observed here in case of spongy parenchyma. So in case of this, these palisade cells they are arranged below the upper epidermis. ठीक है, below the upper epidermis, and they are useful in photosynthesis. Okay, now this come towards the spongy cells. Spongy cells they are very loosely arranged. Okay, very loosely arranged, they are irregular, and they are thin walled chlorophyllous cells. So here whatever these spaces are present, here it is we called here it as air spaces. Getting, so air spaces they are helpful in the exchange of gases between the cells and the atmosphere. Okay, whatever the air spaces they are made by these spongy cells, they are helps in exchange of gases. So they are again photosynthetic in function as the chloroplast is present in between them. So it is also helps in the storage of food material. Getting, so likewise palisade and spongy they are both they are helps in the photosynthesis. Now come towards this vascular bundle. Now vascular bundle, the outermost layer it is called as what? Bundle sheath cells. So outermost layer which going to protect you the these cells, the bundle sheath cells. So here again you are observing here the xylem cells, again see here metaxylem towards center, protoxylem towards periphery, the upper part, and this is the lower part, it is a phloem. There is no any cambium is present in between this vascular bundle of dicot leaf. Next come towards this monocot leaf. So here again see monocot leaf, the one more characteristics I'm going to explain you here. So here in case of dicot, see arrangement of xylem is in a line, okay, in a single line, metaxylem, protoxylem. But here in case of this, see, there is no such a arrangement of vascular bundle in this monocot leaf. One more characteristic is, are you observing, see my cursor here, see my cursor. So this is what, this is bulliform cells. Bulliform cells, these are a larger cells. See here my cursor again, here and here. So here bulliform cells, they are a larger epidermal cells. These are epidermal cells only, but as they are in a larger shape, okay, they are called as bulliform cells. And these bulliform cells, they are helps in rolling and unrolling of leaf. Okay, what is the main function of these bulliform cells? They are helps in rolling and unrolling of these cells. So now here, as this monocot leaves, all grasses are nothing but what? They are coming under all these group monocotyledons. So here now see monocot leaf, they are very, I can say, delicate, and in order to avoid from the high wind velocity or from the any animals, okay, they are protecting themselves with the help of modifications within them. So modifications are like presence of thick cuticle, presence of bulliform cells, which helps in again not from these animals and any mechanical pressures, but again to uh, have water in it. It stores the water in it. If it is a summer days, the leaf is going to become rolling in condition. Okay, it avoid again a transpiration. So likewise rolling unrolling, it's again depend on the uh, uh, enlargement of bulliform cells and constriction of bulliform cells. And again mesophyll cells, as it is having the chloroplast in them, so mesophyll cells, they have helps in photosynthesis. So again see in the this particular uh, vascular bundle where there is the bulliform cells are present, again here the sclerenchyma patch is present upper and below this vascular bundle. So again sclerenchyma, it helps in giving the mechanical support to that particular leaf. So likewise such a sclerenchyma patch is present throughout this leaf wherever this vascular bundle is present. So again here is two eyes like structure, these are the metaxylem, and this is smaller protoxylem, and in the lower it is a phloem tissue. So likewise this uh, transverse section of leaf, that is monocot leaf, is there. So if you have any kind of doubt regarding this anatomical practical, do contact me. And if you have any kind of doubt regarding the anatomical sections, any tissue you are unable to uh, receive any information from my end, you have my number, you can WhatsApp me, you can mail me, you can ask me anytime. I will answer all your queries. Thank you student, thank you very much.